It's Monday night. It's May 8th. Had trouble reading my computer there. 2023. And for the 338th consecutive week, a brand new episode of the Tan and J-Man Show coming your way live on the ISC Sports Network, live on the ISC Sports Network YouTube channel, live on the Tan and J-Man Show Facebook page, live on the ISC Sports Network Twitter page, also available on all of your favorite audio platforms tomorrow morning. I'm Tanner Lee, alongside my co-host Josh, the J-Man Mont. J-Man, how we doing on this gloomy spring Monday?
It is a little gloomy. Yesterday, it was like summer hot to the point
Sure.
where, man, this is already too hot for the J-Man. But yeah, today it's a little gloomy. It's only about 60 degrees here, so it feels pretty good today. But finally, we get some spring weather. It was a pretty mild winter, but it seemed like it lasted forever. But now it looks like turning the corner a little bit.
Well, I put off my mowing today because it looked like it was supposed to rain, and the rain never came. So now I'm pretty mad at myself because yard's starting to look like a field. Not good. Not good.
Gonna have to hay it.
Hay it? You mean bale it?
Hay it. It's gonna hay, I should say.
Hey, you're a poet and didn't even know it. You rhymed there. So, but yeah, you're right. It's getting a little out of control, but I'll get it taken care of. Probably take me tomorrow and Wednesday to get her all cut down. But also found a rabbit trying to make a nest in the yard this afternoon. That's not good. That's not good.
Good thing you found it before your dog did.
Well, he's actually, we've had a lot of rabbits in the yard lately, and he's getting pretty used to them to where, and he knows he can't catch them anymore, or he's never been able to catch them, but he's finally realized he can't catch them. So he kind of just stares at them or barks at them. But I knew this one wasn't going to probably leave its nest unless I chased it off. So got him inside, chased it off, looked in the hole. There's no babies in the hole yet, so I filled the hole up. But I know it's just going to try to make a new one somewhere else. Sure. So, because if Elway doesn't get them, then I probably will accidentally with the mower. Yeah. And either way, don't want that to happen. So,
yeah, that'd be a traumatic event.
Yeah, wouldn't be good. Wouldn't be good at all. But good to have you back this week. Good to have you back.
J-Man is back, and I got some Birdie Bogey for you here.
All right, and we are all tied up. Did you ever listen to last week's question?
I did not. What was it?
I don't even remember. It was very difficult. It was something about the NFL draft. It was number 2 overall picks. And I had to give 3 answers, and I did not do well. I don't even remember what it was exactly, but I missed it. But it doesn't count against the record. So this week will.
LeBron James is currently top 5 in total points, rebounds, and assists in NBA postseason history. The last player, or I should rephrase it, who was the last player to be top 5 in all 3 categories in postseason history?
That's a really good question.
It's a weird question this week. It's been a long time. Before we were born, our parents were born. And our parents were old enough to remember.
I think I have a guess, but I'm probably wrong.
I will repeat the question. LeBron James is currently top 5 in total points, rebounds, and assists in NBA postseason history. Who was the last player to be top 5 in all 3 categories?
It's the assists that's getting me.
History.
That's okay.
I'm going to give you the kiss of death right now and say, I think you got a pretty good chance.
Oh, great. Thanks for that.
You're welcome.
Thanks for that.
You are welcome. Birdie Bogey is brought to you by Arlington Public House. Arlington Public House, it seems like I should have this memorized by now, but I don't. Has upscale cuisine. I know that's in there. I'm going to bring it up real quick so I don't butcher it like I usually do.
Yeah, you left me dry last week. I don't know any of the year reads off the top of my head, so I had to look them all up.
Arlington Public House has upscale cuisine and cocktails with a casual atmosphere located 703 Main Street in Rochester, Indiana. Monday has turned into wing day, and let me tell you, those wings look good. $2 smoked whole wings and $1 off domestic beers every Monday. They did a pretty cool thing over the weekend where they put the Kentucky Derby on and had people dress up in their best Derby couple contest kind of garb. $50 gift card to the winner. I don't know who won, but I would like to know who won.
Did you watch the Derby?
Didn't know it was even Saturday until I just saw that.
I actually tuned in right as it was starting, so I watched the race itself.
Yeah, that's the only time I would ever tune in is like, tell me like a minute before it starts,
Right.
and I'll watch it. But I don't need all that pregame nonsense.
Oh, there's 5 hours of pre-race coverage, and then about half an hour to an hour of post-race coverage. But
yeah,
exciting race.
I will never understand the thought process between or about euthanizing horses when they break a leg. I'll never get it. But it sounds like they did it to 7 horses this past weekend, and I do not like it. Don't like it.
That's the worst thing about horse racing is just what you spoke on there. Like every year, I knew at least somebody who went. One of my former college roommates and his wife went. Looked like they had a really good time. They were sure dressed the part. They were looking pretty dapper in their Kentucky Derby attire. Is that any interest of you ever going to a Derby or no?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I wouldn't necessarily call it a bucket list item, but I think it'd be fun to do at least once, just to say you did it.
I do too.
But it's not something that I'm like, I gotta do it.
I do too. I gotta have a mint julep if you go.
Have to.
You like mint things?
I love mint everything. Give me a mint shake, shamrock shake, mint chip ice cream. It's my favorite by far. Never had a mint julep though, so I'm not a big alcohol guy. So what kind of alcohol's in it? Is it alcoholic? I don't even know that.
I'm gonna look it up. It's a cocktail. Let's see what it's got in it. It's a mixed alcoholic drink or cocktail consisting primarily of bourbon, sugar, water, crushed or shaved ice, and fresh mint.
I'll try it. Mm-hmm. Kind of win and roll.
Looks refreshing.
It's kind of like you have to have a pimento cheese sandwich down at the Masters. Is that where they do that?
Master? Yep. You got it. But now we'll see if Mage can go on and win the Triple Crown.
Who was the last one to do it? It was just a few years ago, right?
Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna look that up because I feel like quite a few horses have done it in like the last decade.
I mean, it took 40 plus years for.
So Justify did it in 2018, American Pharoah in 2015. Before that was affirmed back in 1978.
I was going to say it was like 40 years, almost 40 years.
There's only been 13 horses to ever do it, so that's less than I thought. But I think it's just that you had American Pharoah and Justify. You had 2 and 4 years there. Kind of took some of the. You didn't take the prestige away, but maybe the. I don't know, specialness of it, but it's still quite the accomplishment.
Yeah, horses just must be getting faster.
Well, and I don't know the odds of this horse. I know he wasn't in the top 5, I believe. So it was the jockey's first ever Derby win. That's always cool when there's a jockey that's been doing it for a long time and they finally win one.
Any interest in riding horses?
I never have.
Me either.
I would do it. I would do it, but I never have.
I don't even think I'd do it.
Really?
That thing, I would do something that thing would take off on me, and it would not end well for me.
No, it probably wouldn't end up well for me either. But I would at least try most things. But yeah, we'll see. I don't know. Most things that aren't food, I guess.
I was going to say I did witness you try your first salad at one point.
It wasn't my first salad. I've tried many salads. I just don't like them.
Sure looked like it was your first time.
Well, that's fair. That's fair enough. That's fair. But all right, what do you want to talk about tonight? Start off the show.
It's up to you. I'm an open book. I do not care.
Well, it's pretty blank slate right now around the sports world. I mean, you do have NBA and NHL playoffs going on. Of course, we got baseball going on and golf. But let's start with the NBA playoffs. Okay. I have watched a little bit of that. It was with the most recent game last night between the Phoenix Suns and Denver Nuggets. Suns got game 4 at home. So it's now 2 games apiece, tied. Series heading back to Denver for Game 5. So now it's the best of 3 series. I think this is the most entertaining series. I think these are 2 really good teams, 2 teams who have a good chance to win it all. And there's a little drama last night with the Joker and the Suns owner. Yeah, but the Joker puts up 53 points and they don't win the game last night.
Yeah, that's is that the most points ever in a postseason loss? It's up there.
It's got to be. Let's look it up.
As for that stupid push, he probably shouldn't have.
He shouldn't have.
Shouldn't have been near the owner. And I think at the time I'm sure
Michael Jordan 63 in Game 2 of the 1986 first round against the Celtics.
Did not realize they lost that one.
Yeah.
I'm sure at the time he didn't know it was the owner of the Phoenix Suns. Doesn't make it any better.
No.
But, it was quite the flop.
It was.
Quite the acting job.
Well, and just give the guy the basketball.
Yeah, just give him the basketball.
I mean, geez, they want to get in bounds. They want to run, and
he deserved the technical for it.
Yep.
But it was just one of those things. We see that stuff happen in the NBA. It feels like fans are getting involved in, and afterwards, I thought it was funny. Jokic called him a fan.
Yeah. He knows. He knows who he is.
He probably knew. Just stay away.
Yep.
And
And trust me, if you're the Suns owner, you don't want to get the Jokic brothers involved either. They're scary dudes.
That's right. Yeah.
They're scary dudes.
Yeah. What was that last year they were kind of getting into it? Was it then that?
I think it was about 2 years ago.
Okay.
But who was that player?
Yeah. I don't remember now.
It was a big guy because who was it? I remember Jokic because he pushed him in the back, and
yes,
I don't remember who it was.
It was definitely a postseason too.
Yeah, but they're scary dudes, scary Serbian dudes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I would not want to mess with them. We'll see what happens. I still like the Nuggets' chances, just because in the NBA playoffs, I like the home team, of course, more times than I do the road team.
At the same time, though, Devin Booker is having an insane postseason. He's probably been the best player in the postseason.
Yes.
In the NBA, outside of Jimmy Butler's had a really good one as well. But then you added Kevin Durant to that. It's good. It's going to be tough for Denver to finish it off. As you said, it's 2-2 right now, and I think that would go 7.
You know, one thing my dad brought up last week, which I don't think gets talked about enough around NBA circles, is Denver's home court advantage in the NBA compared to every other team with high altitude.
Yeah.
Of course, it gets talked about in football a lot. Mm-hmm. It's talked about in baseball for other reasons. But I feel like it doesn't get talked about in basketball nearly enough.
I will say the one opposing team that could not affect as much is Phoenix.
Yeah.
Because they are almost 2,000 feet above sea level as well. It's obviously not a mile above sea level,
right.
But they also deal with high altitude, and I've actually been a victim of high altitude sickness when I was in Phoenix, and it was not fun. But if any opposing team can handle it, it would be the Phoenix Suns.
I did see. I'm seeing Thad Mooney, who's one of our sponsors of Mooney Woodcrafts. He's been commenting on Facebook over here. He said MJ had 65 in the loss. We did mention that. And back to your horses and breaking legs. He says a horse leg doesn't recover right after a leg break. That's why they have to put them down.
Did not know that.
I didn't either. So
not a horse guy.
No, but that's too bad. We learned something though tonight. Other series, we got the Lakers and the Warriors. Lakers are up, was it 2-1? 2-1 in that series?
Yeah,
Is that right?
They really took it to Golden State the other night too. That's another one that feels like it could go 7 as well. The Lakers have kind of,
Lakers are at home tonight. They got a big chance to go up 3-1.
Yeah, that was a pivotal game 3. Most game 3s are pretty pivotal. But Lakers looked dead in the water in like January, and then they just kind of turned it on. and they're a real scary team right now. Obviously, when you have LeBron, it's going to be scary. But their acquisitions at the deadline, picking up Rui Hachimura and D'Angelo Russell too. Didn't they pick him up?
Yes. He had a good game the other night.
It's been huge for them. It's kind of turned their season around, and now they are obviously there's only 4 teams left in the West, but they're one of the top 4 teams in the West now.
Yeah. In that series is probably the most watched series, I'd say, from a rating standpoint.
Yeah.
But, man, I don't like the Lakers. I don't know too many people that do, just because they win all the time, historically. And the Warriors, I have Warrior fatigue. So I'm definitely rooting for whoever comes out of the Denver-Phoenix series.
This is almost 9 years running of this Golden State dynasty. It's getting a little old.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And switching gears to the East, I'm surprised right now that Philadelphia is holding their own. They won by 1 point yesterday in overtime, so they and Boston are tied at 2 games apiece. And then you got the 8 seed Miami Heat up 2-1 on the Knicks. A chance to go up 3-1 tonight at home.
Yeah, the Heat are a different 8 seed because
the Lakers are a different 7.
Exactly. Jimmy Butler's having an unbelievable postseason. Bam's good. And they're doing it without Tyler Hero too. I believe he's still out because
he is.
Broke his thumb, broke his hand, whatever. And they were fortunate enough to they've been pretty fortunate for so far with Giannis missing a couple games in that series, which that helps him out. And then facing a Knicks team that is good, but I don't think anyone overly fears. I actually think the Heat get that one done. Has an 8 seed ever been to the conference finals?
I don't know about conference finals. I know they've never been to the NBA finals.
Yeah, I can't imagine they've ever been to a conference final either.
Yeah, that's pretty difficult. You usually only see them win one round.
Maybe one round. And for years, they didn't even do that.
Right.
And then as far as the other series go, did Embiid play yesterday?
Let me check the box score.
I wasn't sure if he played. I know James Harden had a really good game. Embiid,
yes, he did. He played 46 minutes.
Oh, okay.
34 points, 13 rebounds. But Harden had 42 points.
Pretty good game. Yeah. That went to overtime, I believe.
Yep, and the Sixers won by 1.
Harden hit a big shot late in overtime to get that one. But yeah,
Marcus Smart actually hit a game winner, but he didn't get off in time.
Oh, really? I didn't even see that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all 4 series left. It feels like all 4 could go 7.
Right.
It just kind of feels that way. And with the Sixers winning yesterday, obviously game 4s are huge as well because one team's going to be up 2-1 going into that one.
It's just
to be able to tie it. I mean, they're right there.
It's interesting because each matchup has a storyline. Like I said, you got the superstar matchup of the in the historical and recent success Warriors Lakers. You got the 2 teams that have had a lot of success but can never do it. Suns, Nuggets. I know the Suns did make the NBA Finals 2 years ago, but Nuggets never have. And you got East Coast cities. Just depending on who you ask, people can't stand the city, the fans in the city, Boston and Philadelphia. And then you got the Heat, the Knicks. Knicks fans don't know what to do because they haven't had this much success since the 90s. So they're acting like they won the NBA Finals already. Then you have the Heat that have won a bunch over the last decade, or going back 15 years, but a lot of that cast isn't there anymore except the coach. So it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, it's an interesting collection of teams left, and rooting for new blood.
Who are you picking out of every series as of today on May 8th?
I am picking the Suns, Lakers.
I'll go Nuggets, Lakers.
Boston, Miami.
Yep, I'm right there too. Yeah. Even though I did pick the Knicks, I think the Knicks get it done tonight. I don't know why. It's 4.5 point spread in favor of the Heat, but I just have a weird feeling they pick one up on the road and make it interesting tonight. But I think Game 1 is going to come back and bite them. They were up double digits in the 4th, if you remember right. Yeah. At home, Madison Square Garden, they blew it. I think that's going to end up biting them. But we'll see.
Yep. Got to protect home court in the playoffs. It's pretty cliche to say, but you got to do it.
We will see. Other NBA news, we'll find out later this month. College players who are pulling their names out, who are keeping their names in. I know around the Big Ten, Bowie, Northwestern today, pulled his name out, returned to Northwestern, no shock there. Haven't heard anything else about any Big Ten guys lately.
I haven't heard anything.
But of course, workouts haven't happened yet. Combine hasn't happened yet. But it'll be upcoming, and then the ping pong lottery should be coming up. Ball lottery should be draft lottery.
Yeah.
Well, let's see here. Let's see if I can find a date for that. It is on the 16th, next Tuesday.
Weeks from tomorrow.
Next Tuesday, and let's see who the betting odds are.
Detroit.
Yes.
And the
Detroit's 1, Rockets 2, Spurs 3, Hornets 4, Blazers 5, Magic 6, Pacers 7, Wizards 8, Jazz 9, Mavericks 10, Bulls 11, Thunder 12, Raptors 13, and Pelicans 14.
And the winner of that draft lottery will be taking Victor Wembanyama, whatever his name is, 7'4", calling him the best draft prospect in NBA history. So
that's quite
no
the pressure.
Kid.
Yeah, jeez. That doesn't turn out very well usually for guys that have that put on them, but turned out fine for LeBron James.
Yeah, it did.
But any more thoughts about the NBA or NBA playoffs or anything NBA related?
Nope, I do not.
Well, I got a word association segment, which is NBA related. It's NBA playoffs related. We're going to talk about guys who have had good playoff performances off the bench, whether that be in a game or a series. Throughout NBA history, you have these lists from 2 different websites. We'll start with Nate Robinson, who had a heck of a game 4 for the Bulls back in 2013 against the Nets. 23-point fourth quarter.
Yeah, short fella. Dunk contest winner, though.
2 times, right?
Yeah, a couple times. Fun to watch. He was a spark plug off the bench.
Goran Dragic, game 3 for the Suns in the 2010 conference semifinals against the Spurs.
He's still hanging around. I think he's with Milwaukee. He was a Chicago Bull to start the year, and then I think they allowed him his release so he could go play for a better team. And, of course, that better team ends up getting beat. But good lefty point guard. Has been around for a long time.
Yeah, he used to be fun to play with on NBA 2K. Probably not so much anymore, but was at one time. Tyler Hero, he had a heck of a game 4 in the bubble year in the conference finals against Boston. He put up 37 points.
Yeah, from Wisconsin, I remember going to Kentucky and had a good year at Kentucky. And I don't think many people thought he'd turn into this kind of player in the NBA. I thought they thought he'd be good, but he's turned into one of the better shooting guards in the NBA.
Yep. And like we mentioned earlier, the Heat are playing without him. So, Vinnie Johnson of the Pistons, he had a heck of a game 4 in the 1985 conference semifinals against the Celtics, nicknamed the Microwave.
I've heard of Vinnie Johnson before. Did not know he was with the Pistons, but he was obviously on those bad boy teams, right?
Yep. He made 16 of 21 shots from the field. That he outscored the Celtics by himself 22-12 on a run late in the game.
Wow.
And Detroit needed it. They only won by 3, 102-99. Nick the Quick Van Exel had a good game 3 for the Mavericks in the 2003 conference semifinals against the Kings.
I remember Nick Van Exel. Where did he play college ball? Was he Utah? Was he Utah Ute?
Why did I think he was Florida State? But no, Sam Cassell. That was Sam Cassell. That was Florida State. And Exel, let's see. He had 40 this game 3 that I'm talking about.
I remember old Nicky Van Exel.
He actually went to Trinity Valley Community College, then Cincinnati.
I was way off.
I thought you were spot on because you're really good at that.
Who am I thinking of that went to Utah? I'm thinking of somebody that went to Utah.
Are you thinking Andre Miller?
No, I wasn't thinking him. But, I mean, Nick Van Exel was pretty good back in the early 2000s.
Yeah, he played for a lot of different teams. Played for the Nuggets.
He was a Sixer at one time.
Might have been a Sixer. I know he's a Laker. The Maverick towards the end of his career. Let's And now I'll get away from game performances. I'll talk about 10 guys on Bleacher Report. This list is a decade old, but let's talk about guys who had good series. Ray Allen for the Miami Heat.
Ray Allen, one of the best shooters of all time. I think the best shooter of all time is probably Steph Curry. But old Ray, he and Garnett kind of teamed up with Pierce McCain. And we've talked about this before. It became kind of the first kind of super team. But he was really good with Milwaukee as well.
This list was 10 guys that year they thought could make a difference in the playoffs for that team. But we'll go over these guys anyways because it's an interesting list. Number 10 is Carl Landry. He was averaging 16.8 points, 9.2 rebounds, 1.3 assists per 36 minutes.
He was pretty good with Houston. Second round pick, obviously went to Purdue.
He was drafted by Sonics.
Was he now?
And he was traded to the Rockets. Yeah.
Tore his ACL. Was that his junior year, going into his senior year, something like that?
Last regular season game of his junior year.
And he had a really good senior year.
Yep. Kevin Martin.
He had the weirdest shot, one of the weirdest shots in NBA history. It was I can't even explain it. I mean, we thought Sean Marion's shot was weird, but this was somehow even stranger. But it got the job done out of Western Carolina, I believe. Had a good long NBA career. It was shocking.
One of my favorite NBA players, Manu Ginobili.
Manu, is he in the Hall of Fame yet? I assume he's in the Hall of Fame.
I don't think he is.
Yeah,
because Tony Parker just got in this year.
One of the probably the greatest sixth man of all time. I don't even know why they had him come off the bench, to be honest. It was kind of pointless, but legendary sixth man. They really should name the sixth man award after him. The Manu,
not even Ginobili, just the Manu.
He's also a very talented bat hunter, as he
yes, I forgot
multiple times has caught bats.
Must be an Argentinian thing. Jeff Green.
He's still hanging around too. They call him Pops, I believe. Who's he with?
He was this year in 2013. He was with the Celtics. I don't know where he is now.
He is in the playoffs right now. Still, I don't know. I'm pretty sure anyway. And I just saw a video clip that somebody was mic'd up, and it was some young rookie was mic'd up. And Jeff Green comes to the bench and goes, "Hey, you're in my seat," or something like that. And the guy goes, "Sorry, Dad."
Speaking of dad and old players, Thad Mooney comment, "Don't forget that he have father time on their bench. Udonis Haslem."
That's right. That's right, they do.
What is he, like 42?
Yeah, I think this is finally his last year.
Another good one on this list. He was a fan favorite of one of our good friends, Evan Webb.
Jeff Green's with the Nuggets.
Jeff Green's with the. Couldn't have told you that. Taj Gibson.
Taj, out of USC. He was a good bull. I think he's still hanging around too. Probably playing with Tibbs, somewhere. Where's Tibbs?
Tibbs in New York.
He's still in New York.
Yeah.
Taj had a really good long NBA career. First round pick. I remember he was with those good Bulls teams in the early 2010s that went to the conference championship games.
Andre Miller. There's a Utah Ute for you.
Yeah. He had a long NBA career as well. He was a point guard that wasn't much of a shooter whatsoever, but great passer, great distributor. Played for a bunch of teams as well, and was pretty good for a bunch of teams.
Here's a guy that was really good sixth man, won sixth man of the year, I think multiple times, Jamal Crawford.
Yeah, one of the best ball handling guards in the NBA in his time. I think he was one and done at Michigan.
He was, yes.
He played for a long time, up until like maybe 2020, 2021, something like that. So he's in the league probably 15, 16 years or so.
My first Purdue basketball game I ever went to, Jamal Crawford-led Michigan Wolverine team came in and beat Purdue in double overtime.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a pretty good first game.
Yeah, it was. And that Purdue team went on to make the Elite Eight that year. Jared Jack.
Oh, man, Georgia Tech. Completely forgot about him. He had all these guys had long NBA careers. But he was a starter. He came off the bench. Really good point guard. Solid point guard.
And lastly, here's a guy who's won the sixth man of the year. He played for a lot of teams, and he's played some collegiate golf. J.R. Smith.
JR. He is most known for grabbing that offensive rebound in a tie game off of a missed free throw in the 2016 NBA Finals, and instead of just going right up with it with about 2.5 seconds left, he dribbled it out, thinking they had a lead, and LeBron's kind of looking at him like, "What are you doing?"
Oh, I know. I'll never forget LeBron's reaction. He literally has his hands. What are you doing?
Yeah, and Cleveland ends up winning the series anyway. But that was probably what JR is most known for. For whatever reason, I used to have a recording of, I want to say it was the 2004 Slam Dunk Contest, and J.R. Smith was a rookie, and he was in it. Him and Birdman, Chris Anderson.
I remember that one.
Josh Smith, I think he was in it as well, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I watched it a bunch, too. I liked it when I was in middle school, clearly.
I always liked the dunk contest back in the day, but now I don't.
No.
Well, it's not.
I remember the last time I watched it.
It's not must-see TV for me, I should say. So, and that's going to do it for this week's Word Association list, which is brought to you by, like it is every week, Performa Print 2 Promo Group. If you're looking for a trustworthy, dependable resource for your next trade show, company picnic, or sales meeting, Performa Print 2 Promo Group has over 50 years combined experience in promotional products and commercial print. They strive for fast and efficient response to all your print needs, so you need to look no further. Let them be your one-source print and promotional company by giving Barbara Van Weinsberg a call today at 574-210-3815, or if you'd rather email her, you can email her at barbara.vanweinsberg@proforma.com.
The NFL schedule is being released on Thursday, and a couple changes to the schedule this season, according to Adam Schefter. The NFL will have a Black Friday game for the first time ever. I like that one.
That'll be an NFC East matchup. Book it.
Yeah, book it. Games don't necessarily belong to networks anymore. All games are free agents. For years when we were growing up, and it's kind of changed over the past 3 or 4 years. The AFC was going to be on CBS. The NFC was going to be on Fox. And if an NFC team was playing on the road at an AFC team, it was going to be on Fox. And if an AFC team was playing on the road at an NFC team, it was going to be on CBS, but sounds like no more.
CBS was predicting some big-time matchups today, and they're predicting that the season opener. What would you predict season opener is?
Season opener.
Well, of course, it's got the Eagles in it, or not the Eagles. Excuse me, the Chiefs.
Do the Bills play in Kansas City?
I'm sure they do, but that's not their predicting season.
They probably play Kansas City, but it might be in Buffalo, so that's probably not going to be. I don't know.
I kind of gave it away by my misreading there. Eagles Chiefs rematch.
Oh, that makes sense.
Is what they're predicting. How about the Sunday night season opener? This wouldn't shock me at all if it's something like this.
Sunday nighter. I don't know who plays who. Do the Packers and Jets play?
I don't think they do, but they do have the Jets in the Sunday night opener predicting.
Against the Bills?
Against the Patriots.
Oh, why?
I don't know.
That's stupid.
I don't know.
That would be stupid. Teams can be on Thursday Night Football twice. Stupid.
It's because the Patriots have beat them 14 straight second matchups. So maybe they want Rodgers' debut, see if he can take down the Patriots. I don't know.
Not all teams are guaranteed to have a primetime spot. The Patriots are one that do not deserve to have a primetime spot.
But they will.
But they will have multiple, I bet. And it'll make me very angry.
The Monday night opener, of course, 2 games. I could see these both happening.
One's
an AFC matchup, one's NFC. Just to let you know.
Don't know.
Bengals, Bills, Niners, Cowboys.
Could see that.
How about that?
See something like Dolphins, Bills as well, because those were 3 really good games last year.
How about the triple header on Thanksgiving?
I don't know who plays the Lions, Cowboys. How am I supposed to know who's going to be on Thanksgiving?
The Lions, they think the Lions, Packers. Cowboys, Jets. Yeah, Jets are going to get prime time all over the place.
Gosh,
and Ravens, Steelers.
Seems like they're on Thursday night all the time.
In the Black Friday game predictions, Giants, Eagles.
Ugh.
And the Christmas Day Monday night prediction is Chiefs-Bills.
Ugh.
And the international series prediction is Chiefs-Bears in Germany. That's already set. Patriots Saints in Germany. London, they're guessing the Jaguars versus Panthers, Bills versus Raiders, Titans versus Seahawks. So there we have it.
Jacksonville might as well just move to London. They play there about 4 times a year, it feels like.
The fans finally showed up when they had a playoff game last year.
Yeah, well, that division's going to be atrocious. So they're probably going to win it again.
It is, but I think it's going to be good in about 3 years. I know we're not 3 years in the future, but
should. They'll all have, besides Jacksonville, they'll all have quarterbacks of the future this year. It'll be interesting to see. I assume Bryce Young's going to start right away. Who knows about Richardson?
I mean, CJ Stroud for the Texans.
CJ Stroud, I mean.
But Bryce Young probably start right away for the Panthers.
He probably will for Carolina. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Do you want to be educated here before we talk some baseball?
You know I always need it.
On this day in a lot of horse racing. A lot of Kentucky Derby. There's some Preakness as well. On this day in 1926, a fire broke out in Fenway Park.
Not good. Obviously, hope nobody was hurt.
Did not burn to the ground as it is still standing. Who won the 1967 Kentucky Derby? The 63rd Kentucky Derby in 1937?
Secretariat? Okay.
Charlie Kurtzinger on War Admiral.
You could have gave me 2,000 guesses.
At least 2,000 guesses. On this day in 1967, Muhammad Ali is indicted for refusing induction into the U.S. Army.
I knew that happened, but I couldn't have told you when.
Who won the 1970 NBA championship?
70. Well, let's go Celtics.
It looks like the New York Knicks beat the way this is worded is confusing because it says 1970 24th NBA championship. New York Knicks beat the LA Lakers 113-91 at Madison Square Garden. But then the line right below says 1970 NBA championship. Knicks beat the Lakers 113-99. So all we know is
Knicks beat the Lakers.
New York Knicks beat the Lakers.
You know, we could get that finals matchup this year. That'd be pretty insufferable.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be brutal. 2 miserable fan bases, in miserable markets too. That would be awful. On this day in 1973, Ernie Banks fills in for Cubs manager Whitey Lockman, who was ejected during the game and technically becomes baseball's first African-American manager.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
I don't think that's counted because it was a mid-game thing, but still cool.
Mm-hmm.
On this day in 1988, amateur referees worked the New Jersey Devil Boston Bruin playoff game as NHL referees walk off due to a restraining order brought by the Devils. I wonder what happened.
I might have to Google that.
I have never heard of that one before.
I'm Googling it. 1988 Devils restraining
against NHL refs.
Order refs. You can keep moving. I'll.
On this day in 1988, Mike Tyson once again crashed his $183,000 Bentley in New York City. It's an expensive car wreck there. On this day in 2010, the last piece of Yankee Stadium falls in the Bronx, marking the end of a 2-year demolition process. One more here. Who was the number 1 overall pick in the 2014 NFL Draft?
2014.
I'll even say, in my opinion, he's been a draft bust.
2014. Why can I not think of 2014? I'm usually really good at these. Was that no, it wasn't him. Number 1 pick, right?
Yep.
Is that Jadeveon Clowney?
It was Jadeveon
All
Clowney.
right. All right.
Yeah.
I about said Myles Garrett on accident.
No, Myles Garrett's not a draft bust, in my opinion.
I'm reading on this thing. It looks like the Devils coach and the one of the refs got into it the night before, and it got caught on tape by a WABC cameraman. And then after and the league was going to suspend the coach, and after complaining and whining to the league allowed the coach to coach. And when the referee and the linesman got wind of the court ruling, they refused to work the game.
Oh.
I don't know where the restraining order. I don't know where that came in, but yeah.
Maybe on this day is messing with us a little bit.
Well, this is a long article. I don't want to read it all. It's on NHL.com.
Yeah. That'll do it.
And that is the on this day for sporting events that have happened on May 8th throughout the history of time. And it's brought to you by, like it is every week, Mooney Woodcrafts. Mooney Woodcrafts is a veteran-owned and operated woodcraft shop based out of North Carolina with Indiana grassroots. They provide 100% hand-cut custom designs to fit your needs, and their pieces are a great addition to any home, office, or man cave. You can see some of their recently completed projects by visiting them on Facebook or Instagram at Mooney Woodcrafts. And if you let them know the Tan and J Man Show sent you, you get 15% off your order. So get your sign orders in.
Yes, sir. Baseball is happening around the league. We got the Tampa Bay Rays are still lighting it up. They are 28-7. They came back from 6 runs down to beat the New York Yankees yesterday. The Yankees find themselves in last place in the AL East and 10 games out. A lot of season left, but that division's loaded, though. Every single team in that
I heard you.
is over 500.
I was telling somebody the other day I could make the injury excuse, but when you have a payroll as high as the Yankees, can't use that excuse.
The NL Central, Pittsburgh Pirates have kind of fallen by the wayside, and they're a half game up on the Milwaukee Brewers. Cubs are 2.5 out. Reds 5.5, and Cardinals have the worst record in the National League by a wide margin right now.
So worse than the Rockies.
Yeah, Rockies are terrible, but it's not as bad as the St. Louis Cardinals, and it seems like it's getting worse for the Cardinals as their $80 million catcher. Wilson Contreras, they have demoted him to a DH duty only because he's not playing very well defensively. His preparation sounds like it's not very good, and the manager and GM kind of called him out on it. So things are not good there in St. Louis. However, they're stupid talented, and the Cubs have them for 3 starting tonight in Wrigley, and Cardinals are due. That is how my brain works. The Cardinals are very due to kind of turn things around, and I'm very nervous and expecting that to happen this week against the Cubs. Cardinals have lost every single game opener of a series so far this year. I think that's 12 series they've played, and they've lost the opener every single time. So once again, they are due to win a series opener.
Let's see what Josh the J-Man Mo has been tweeting about the Cubs lately. I haven't checked this in a while.
No, I haven't. I don't tweet as much as I used to. It's not as fun as it used to. I tweet maybe once or twice a game if I want to.
You tweeted 3 times yesterday.
That's about
nice comeback. Let's win, Cubs. Not a fan of Trey Mancini, and you can take Tucker Barnhart out of the Reds, but you can't take the Reds out of Tucker Barnhart. That's a pretty good one.
In games, Tucker Barnhart has started this year. I think I saw they were 4-13 or something like that. 13 of their 17 losses have come with Tucker Barnhart behind the plate. He's hitting a $180. Defensively, he hasn't been good either. But Cubs are hanging in there, 17-17. It was a rough week for them, though. This is their easy part of the schedule, starting last Friday, really, against the Miami Marlins in Miami. They get swept in Miami, and then they lose 3-4 to the really bad Washington Nationals. That's like playing the 2012 Chicago Cubs, and they lost 3-4. And then they took 2-3 against the Marlins. But you look at the Cubs schedule coming up. They have St. Louis for 3. Then they have at Minnesota. They have at Houston. They have at Philadelphia. They have Tampa Bay coming up. It's a brutal schedule. And they needed to take care of business against the Marlins and Nationals, and they didn't.
You had some pretty good ones on May 3rd.
May 3rd, huh?
You're on Jed's case a little bit.
Yeah, Jed pisses me off.
Enough with Eric Hosmer, Jed. You said what would help this offense score? Matt Mervis and Chris Morale. It was fun while it lasted. It's very evident Jed doesn't care enough to provide this team with a spark. Good work, Hosmer. Fire him into the sun. I am no longer having fun watching the Chicago Cubs.
Yeah, Jed clearly heard my tweets, looked at my tweets as Matt Mervis was called up for Friday's game. He's been up. And then Chris Morel got called up today. So he was clearly reading my tweets. Chris Morel has literally been the best hitter in the minor leagues this year, according to pretty much every metric. So it's nice to have him up. And Matt Mervis just adds some absolute thump to that first base spot that they haven't had since they traded Rizzo away 2 years ago. He hit 35 homers in AAA, or between single, double, and AAA last year, and he's been on a tear to start the year. So that will help them score more runs. They're still pitching pretty well. Bullpen is a major concern, in my opinion. The two guys they signed to be the back end of the bullpen have been, for the most part, pretty bad in Brad Boxberger and why am I struggling to think of his name? Michael Fulmer. But starting rotation has been great. Justin Steele has turned into one of the best starting pitchers in all of baseball. Has a 1.4 something ERA. He has been absolutely fantastic. Marcus Stroman is on the bump tonight, so hopefully he can have a good one to start the Cardinal series.
You need a new cover photo on your Twitter.
What is it?
You got a picture of an old Illini team: Carbello, Frazier, Williams, DeSumo, and Georgie.
I do. Yeah. I didn't even realize that. I love that team.
It's a good photo. Good photo.
Got beat, but see some of my tweets that were favored. I only liked one tweet this week. But can you name me the worst hitter in Major League Baseball right now by weighted runs created plus, which is kind of the measure people make or people use to quantify hitters? It involves like ballpark factors, the pitchers they faced, all sorts of stuff.
Charlie Blackmon.
130 plate appearances. He is not.
No, I just threw out a guess.
I have 10 guys here, and he is not one of the 10.
Should I know this?
I mean, you know the player,
yeah.
But I don't know if you'd know that he has been, because I didn't know he was the worst hitter in all of baseball so far this year. Jose Abreu.
Oh,
for the Houston Astros. I don't think he has hit a single homer so far. He has been 52% below league average hitter. Some other names on this list that are kind of surprising. George Springer has been the third worst hitter in Major League Baseball, and Nolan Arenado has been the seventh worst hitter.
My Twitter feed's loving that. Trust me.
He's been bad for St. Louis, but again, scary guy, and I'm scared that this week is going to be the week that they just take off. But Wilson Contreras back in Wrigley Field for the first time. He is DHing tonight. It'll be interesting to see the kind of reception he gets. I think it'll be a mixture of,
so I was going to say mixed reception.
Yeah, a mixture of some cheers and boos. Honestly, he should probably get a standing ovation, won a World Series, gave his heart and soul, and then he made some stupid comments, and he kind of apologized today for some of his comments. He didn't mean to offend the fan base because he loved the fans, but I'm sure some people will boo, some people will cheer. It will be weird seeing. I haven't watched Cardinals at all this year. It'll be weird seeing him in a St. Louis Cardinals uniform, especially that red, after wearing blue his entire career. Elsewhere around baseball, Dodgers are kind of heating up a little bit. They now have a 1.5 lead in the West. The Padres-Dodgers have turned into one of the best rivalries in the National League. Atlanta Braves running away with the NL East already. They're 7 games up on the Mets. Mets are in a free
I
fall.
love it. I love it.
The Marlins are hanging in there, but they can't score runs. They have really good pitching, though. Phillies have been bad. Nationals are bad. The Texas Rangers are still playing well in the AOS are 20-13. Angels are hanging in there. Houston Astros, Mariners right there as well. And then you have the Oakland A's, 13 games out. They are 8-27.
Just move.
It sounds like they're definitely planning on moving to Vegas. I mean, this is a team I don't know what they're on pace for to win games wise this year, but their run differential is already at minus 124 through 35 games. This is a team that I really think is going to struggle winning 40. And I'm not even trying to be funny or hyperbolic. I really think this team's going to struggle winning 40 games and will be one of the worst teams in history, definitely of our lifetime. AL Central's kind of terrible. The Twins are 19-16. They're winning that division. Cleveland's bad. Cleveland's okay. Detroit's actually bounced back a little bit, and they're just 3 games under 500. White Sox are bad, but they're only 7 out because that division's terrible. Royals are 9-26. But as I said, the AL East is loaded. Baltimore's 10 games over 500. Blue Jays 7 over. Red Sox have been kind of surprising so far. They're 6 games over 500. But going back to the Cubs a little bit, I got to make a book it prediction, and this will be the J-Man's book it prediction of the week. I have a real bad feeling about this St. Louis Card. I'm doing a little bit of reverse psychology as I usually do, but I think the Cardinals take at least 2 or 3 against the Cubs, including winning tonight to get their first series opening victory of the season. I just have one of those feelings, and usually it's the exact opposite, and I'm hoping it's the exact opposite. But J-Man's Book of Prediction Week brought to you by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance Agent Travis Watchering for life, home, auto, business, renters, workers' comp, and farm insurance. Contact Travis at 219-869-4561. His email is travis.watchering@infb.com. Book it. It's interesting. I'm on their baseball reference page, and I'm on the schedule, and I'm looking. It tells you how long each game has been this year, and there has only been 2 Cubs games that have gone 9 innings that have been over 3 hours.
It's incredible.
That's it. And even yesterday's game was a 14-inning game. You don't see 14 innings too much anymore. And it was only 3 hours and 49 minutes. But, I mean, they had on Thursday, they played an hour 55-minute game. Friday was 2 hours and 9 minutes. So these new rules, and one of the 3-hour games was a 14-9 game, and it only went 3 hours and 2 minutes.
I haven't really heard anybody complain about these new rules.
I love it. More action, batting averages up, more steals, games are quicker. There's no more down, and that's the thing. People are like, "Oh, they're changing all this stuff, and it's slow, and it's speeding it up." All that. All it's doing is it's taking out downtime that was pointless anyway. Guys stepping off and readjusting their batting gloves. So this is keeping. I mean, I was always focused anyway, but this is keeping casual fans more engaged in the action on the field. So 2 thumbs up, old Robbie Manfred.
That doesn't happen very often.
Yeah, only time you're going to hear that one. So,
all right. Any more baseball talk? If not, I'm going to quiz you a little bit.
I have no more baseball. Quiz me.
Can you name me the 8 remaining teams left in the NHL playoffs?
I saw the Colorado Avalanche got put out. That's
they
unfortunate.
Did. Lost Game 7 at home. They couldn't defend home ice.
I know there's the Miami team. Florida was at the Panthers.
Florida Panthers. They have a 3-0 lead right now against their opponent.
Yes, their opponent. I will get to that. The only reason why I know that is because, again, I follow a bunch of Dolphins writers and they tweet about it. I know there's a Canadian team left. At least one.
2 of them.
There's 2 of them. I want to say. I don't know. I could not tell you.
Well, the Panthers have a 3-0 lead over the Toronto Maple Leafs. So they're one of the Canadian teams. Maple Leafs, man, we talk about fans who have been through it. They haven't won a cup since '67. And they make the playoffs quite often, and they just can't do it. So the Panthers up 3-0 on them. The other series on that side is the Carolina Hurricanes have a 2-1 lead over the Devils. But the Devils scored 8 goals last night, so that was pretty impressive. The Las Vegas Golden Knights are tied to a game apiece with the Edmonton Oilers. So there's your other Canadian team.
Edmonton. That's what.
And the Seattle Kraken, a new team who just knocked off the Avalanche. They have a 2-1 lead on the Dallas Stars. So a lot of teams who haven't been to the Cup in a while. We haven't had a Canadian team win it since the Montreal Canadiens in '93. So
how many years have the Kraken been around? 2? 3?
3, I think. This is their second playoff appearance.
I'm telling you, hockey's the one sport where you can see expansion franchises get good within 2 or 3 years.
Yep, it doesn't take long, and it's the most exciting playoffs of the Major League as far as unpredictability. We see absolutely. 8 seeds win it all. So the LA Kings were an 8 seed not too long ago and won it all. So just get hot, and anything can happen. It's a 7-game series. Yeah. So,
Yipper. Have any other thoughts and notes?
My guy Ricky Fowler got a top 15 finish over the weekend, so that put him in the world top 50 for the first time since 2021, which is big because that's going to get him in the PGA Championship. So
what happens if he falls out of it, though?
I think he's done enough of other things to qualify for it. He is 23rd right now in the FedEx Cup standings, so while he's not winning anything yet, he's having a pretty darn good season. He's definitely on the right track.
He's at the very least competitive. It's been a minute since he's been competitive.
Yeah, he's not only just making cuts, which last few years he was fighting just to do that. He's finishing a lot of times in the top 25 of these tournaments. So we'll see. He's not playing this week, but
what's changed besides firing his swing coach?
That's pretty much it.
That's it.
So I mean, the talent's always been there. It's just now something else has clicked. And he changed putters. He has a long putter now, which is weird, but it's working for him. So
interesting.
Yeah.
You want me to just hit you with this birdie bogey?
I'd like a minute to think about that. So,
LeBron James is currently top 5 in total points, rebounds, and assists in NBA postseason history. Who was the last player to be top 5 in all 3 categories in postseason history?
I'm going to throw out some names just so I can be mad at myself when one of them's right and I don't pick it. Magic Johnson comes to my mind, but I don't know if he scored enough. Oscar Robertson comes to my mind because he's a triple-double machine. Bill Russell comes to my mind because he won a ton of games. He definitely points, rebounds right there, but I don't know about assists. Those are kind of the 3 that come to my mind. It's probably not even one of those 3. But the assists, man. Yeah, Larry Bird's another one, but I don't know about... shoot. I'm going to go Bill Russell.
You are incorrect.
Mm-hmm. Is any of those guys I named?
Nope.
Okay.
The last player to be top 5 in all 3 categories in postseason history was none other than Wilt Chamberlain.
I wouldn't have guessed him for assists.
April 15th, 1975, he was in the top 5 in all 3 categories. LeBron passed Kareem last night for 5th on the all-time rebounding list.
I would have not guessed him for assists. So
he was a great passer back in the day. You look at his stats, and he has a decent amount of assists in his career.
Oh shoot! I am now 1 behind you.
Yeah, I've somehow taken the lead right where I belong.
And one thing I want to mention before we get off there is happy early Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Mother's Day is coming up on Sunday. So.
Glad you reminded me.
You're welcome.
Thanks for watching the Tan and J-Man Show. We'll be back at it next Monday with another episode. Have a fantastic week, everybody.